C2v2 analysis or replays. Finally got myself a little bit of time to do these, so I am sorry for the delay, but I do not know the exact rank of this GC, but we will watch it and try to review, see what we can spot, see what we can help improve on. Just drop the sound a little bit. Sorry if you can hear the fan in the background. There's a video processing in the background, so a nice fake there. Great pressure. I guess this is somewhere in like 16, maybe 1700, just because of the confidence in your ability. So this is an unfortunate goal. We're gonna see how this maybe went wrong. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't see too much wrong that you did here. Unfortunate, like, mechanical mistake. Your teammate also kind of overcommitted, and then you did get demoed. So I mean, that's just unfortunate. I'm not really gonna comment on that one just because there's not much you could have done differently. And the kickoff boost mess up does happen. So I mean, no matter what, really. So I do want to comment on this before we get too far. I thought maybe they'd score from it, but right here, since you have 100 boost, it's good that you try to go right and then come left a little harder. But I'd say maybe you know that he hits this right here, and that his recovery is probably going to take him a second. So you could have probably turned this way and gone straight up for this. You have 100 boost. 90% sure you'd beat him to this ball. Let me see actually how this plays out. Actually, you might not have been able to turn left, but since you were already turning left, if you had done a quick U-turn, you could have probably popped up for this. That's good that you went this way then, so that you'd keep control. I just feel like maybe more control could have been taken with this 100 boost. Unfortunately, your teammate is, it seems like he's a bit behind in game sense, or like how you are planning on playing with him, because he's not prepared for a lot of what you're doing. Here, this could have completely been avoided. You see it goes over, and you move up to maybe possibly go for it. Then you see that he might have control, so you back off. Here is where you want to either take a jump, which I might or might not suggest, depending on how risky you want to be, or just a curve left. If you zigzag like this and then back this way, you should be able to dodge his bump completely because he's aiming as if you're going towards the ball. If he sees you jump, he's going to jump as well. So literally just a slight zigzag will help you dodge the demos. It seems like that's honestly what's getting you scored on right now, from what I see. Because they're very aggressive in their demos. And it works for them, but you know, you have to find a way to counter that. good attempt at getting up there. Teammate is a little slow in recovery. Slick attempt. It's good that you went there. Smart play. Good game speed. It's weird because usually I watch much lower ranks, so I'm usually commenting on their offensive speed, but you're up there. Almost a pre-jump, pre-flip. Nice. Yeah, you're keeping a lot of aggression, staying on it. A little bit of a weird situation, but you made the best of it. Seems like maybe consistency on your flicks if you want a mechanic to work on. A good dodge, demo dodge there. That is not my Discord, I can guarantee you that. Yeah, it's closed. So we're gonna go back here. I was actually gonna comment on this, so it just so happens that you got scored on because of this. Not because of this error, but just because of this play, so it's good that I stopped it here. My suggestion here was just simply because your teammate's having a really hard time keeping up with your, like, what your decision making is. Just straight up going back post, especially since you have 77, might be the best option. Because you going underneath this, even though you might feel like you should be more offensive since he's lacking a bit. A more defensive defense might be necessary. Like, although I originally thought your offensive defense was a good idea, it seems like he's like really confused by your play. Like, he might be turning here to go up for this and then trust that you're back. But since he sees you here, he might just be like, I don't want to jump for this in case my teammate does. Because he just waits so long to get up for these. So just maybe like steering a little more clear signals, just because he's very lost, I guess. Probably the correct term. Yeah, that was an incoming bomb. That one was. Ooh, what a save there. Touch from your teammate. He's got to bang this to you. You could have turned for that. You know, I'm not saying I could because I don't know if I'm that mechanically sound, but from what I've seen, 14 boosts is more than enough to realize that that's and you get the 20 or up to the 20. That's more than enough boost to realize that this guy's gonna hit this straight down, and you see his teammates way back. So making this U-turn right here will relieve a lot of pressure from this player, because he's probably not gonna pass this to you. Like, he might. Yeah, no, he's a little blindsided on everything you do. So, just straight up clear decisions. As soon as you're turning back here and you see a soft touch, go for this. Let him get back. Because I think this confused him. Like, oh, do I go for this? Oh, I could go for this. And he turns, and then the ball's already coming toward him. It looks like he got a decent touch on it. Another bump play. They're really aggressive. Good speed from your team. Almost. It's good that you passed that back, because keeping it out of their possession. That was, I would have done the same thing. That was just unfortunate. But you popped it up enough that, you keep it on their side. So it's a decision I'll leave up to you, because honestly, I think however that worked out, it worked out pretty well. Teammate just tackles it, amazing. Pass attempt. Yeah, maybe up a little sooner. Sorry, there's a little bit of light. So let me pick it up. Just because you would have gotten way more power when you see this guy flipping. I know these are like really minor things, um, but I'm sure you're like noticing these two players down here, and you're like, oh, okay, I can go for this. That first hesitation might have set you back because you know this guy's not jumping. You know your teammates to your left. Hopefully there and not here. I can't tell where he was previously. Oh no, he committed hard. Yoink. So you know your teammate's probably like right here. If he's fast, and you can go for this, but you get a softer touch because you're more expecting this guy to go for it, and he just kind of waits. So I feel like um, that's not a consistent thing though. I'm seeing a lot of consistently fast offensive and defensive speed. Yeah, that really caused. Oh, sorry. Really caused a good amount of pressure for your team, which was much needed. Here you can honestly take your time. You know you've got to. You know they've got to shoot, so you know you've got to just kind of burn time. A wonky recovery. I haven't seen that in the entire game. It's new. I'm hoping you win this game. Great, nice plays. There's no way you can throw this. Yeah. Good burn. You know it's over. Jeez. All right, so I'd say biggest things are body language, car language, um, and your demo dodging. Honestly, because like you really set your team up for success. The biggest issue is that during some of these plays, it seems like your teammates can get confused. So this is an unfortunate play. I don't think you could have dodged this demo. Because it was just, he was coming for you, man. But next demo you could have. I don't remember where it is. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. This one you definitely could have. You see this play forming. It's good that you put the pressure there because you notice he kind of hit it too far. So demo dodge by swerving. We established that. Just to buy your teammate just enough time because you don't quite have to put pressure on that yet. Because he didn't really have full control of it. And then the second thing was body language. It's good that you kept control of it. I love seeing when people keep possession of ball. So many times they'll throw it. Let me see. I think it was when it's coming back to your side. Is it? Is the play just developed or whatever? No, hold on. I went too far. Yeah, here. So just like stuff, small details. These are the things that really will set you apart from going any higher. Because while you're like really mechanically sound, it's down to the very small specific things that are holding you back, and I feel like this might be one of them. So, uh, you know, going here, just go either straight back, don't turn for this, or or you gotta turn sooner, like here. Because I think he was really honestly looking like, oh, he's on the right side. Maybe he wants to go up wall, and then he dives for it. It really keeps putting you in a bad position because I feel like they might be expecting something. So, and of course, they just keep coming for you, man. So definitely work on those two things. Um, it's not even like general uh, things you can really work on like you could in the past. Um, so I feel like I might be giving like very vague advice, but the three things I noticed, so summary, three things I noticed were um, car language, body language, um, your defensive like demo dodges, and maybe even putting offensive demos on them if they're doing that to you, like on your rotation out, do that. And then the third thing was your flick consistency. I don't know if you want to work on that. If you don't want to work on that, I don't see it as too big of an issue because you're keeping really good pressure and that makes up for it. But if you do want to shoot up in the ranks, maybe and you have some spare time, maybe practice a little bit of your flick consistency. Besides that, I think you're set, man. You're honestly killing it.